Welcome to my channel. Do you feel like speaking English is hard? Do you feel shy, afraid, or stuck when you try to speak? Stay with me, because in this video, I will show you why speaking in English is not hard at all. It is actually very easy. You just need the right way, the right steps, and the right mind. Comment below if you ever felt shy when trying to speak English. I want to know your story too. Chapter 1. The Fear of Speaking. I still remember the first time I had to speak in English. My heart was beating so fast. My hands were shaking. My mouth was dry. I looked around the room and everyone seemed calm. My classmates were smiling, ready to read their parts. But me? I felt like I could not even breathe. I wanted to hide. I wanted the ground to open and take me away. This is the fear that many English learners feel. Maybe you have felt it too. Fear of speaking is like a heavy wall. You want to cross, but the wall feels too high. You try to open your mouth, but no words come out. You feel trapped inside yourself. And you start to believe that maybe you are not good enough. Maybe speaking English is only for smart people. Maybe it is not for you. But let me tell you something very important today. This fear is not the end of your story. It is only the beginning. When I was younger, I thought I was the only one with this problem. I thought maybe I was slow, or maybe I did not have the talent for languages. But later I discovered a powerful truth. Almost every English learner feels the same fear. Even people who look confident are sometimes shaking inside. Even people who speak many sentences still worry about mistakes. This fear is not your enemy. It is just a signal. It is your brain telling you, this is new. This is different. I want you to imagine a small child learning to speak. The child does not care about mistakes. The child does not care about grammar. The child just tries. Sometimes the words are broken. Sometimes people laugh. But the child keeps going. And one day, the child speaks fluently. You were once that child in your own language. So why not be that child again in English? The fear of speaking comes from one big idea. We think we must be perfect before we speak. We think if we do not use the right grammar, people will laugh at us. We think if we do not say a long, beautiful sentence, we will fail. But that is not true. Perfection is not the goal. Communication is the goal. Speaking is not about showing how smart you are. Speaking is about connecting with other people. Even if you use small words, you can share big feelings. Even if you use simple sentences, you can make a friend. I want you to remember this. Mistakes are not the opposite of learning. Mistakes are the proof of learning. Every mistake you make shows that you are trying. Every wrong word is one step closer to the right word. If you never make mistakes, it means you never try. And if you never try, you will never speak. So the fear of mistakes must become your teacher, not your prison. When I started to change my thinking, everything changed for me. Instead of saying, "What if they laugh?" I started saying, "What if they understand?" Instead of saying, "What if I fail?" I asked, "What if I succeed?" These small questions gave me courage, and the courage helped me open my mouth. The first words were not perfect, but they were real. And with each word, the wall of fear became smaller. Think about this. Every person you see speaking English now, even fluently, once felt the same fear. They stood where you are standing now. They had the same doubts, the same worry, the same pain. But they did one thing. They spoke anyway. And that is what you must do too. You must speak even when your voice is shaking. You must speak even when your mind is not ready. Because confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you build. I want you to picture yourself tomorrow. You walk into a room, or you join an online class. Someone looks at you and asks a question in English. For a moment, the fear comes. But then you remember this. You do not need perfect grammar. You do not need big words. You only need one small sentence. You take a breath. You say, "My name is," or "I think." And in that moment, you win. You break the wall of fear. You prove to yourself that you can speak. The fear of speaking will never fully go away. Even native speakers feel nervous sometimes. But the difference is this. They do not stop because of fear. They move forward with it. And that is what you will learn to do. You will carry the fear, but you will also carry courage. You will feel the fear, but you will speak anyway. So today I want to tell you, do not fight the fear. Accept it, smile at it, and then speak through it. Every time you speak, the fear becomes smaller. Every time you speak, your voice becomes stronger. Speaking in English is not hard. What makes it hard is silence. When you open your mouth, you will see that English is not a monster. It is your friend. And here is the truth I want you to hold in your heart. Speaking in English is so easy, but only if you start. Not tomorrow, not when you are perfect. Start today. Say one sentence. Say one word. And tomorrow, say one more. This is how you will grow. This is how you will speak with freedom. Chapter 2. Start small, speak simple. When I first began my English journey, I thought I had to speak big sentences from the very first day. I thought I had to sound smart, perfect, and full of grammar. But this thought only made me more afraid. I waited and waited. I told myself, I will speak when I am ready. But let me tell you the truth, I was never ready. Because perfection never comes. If you wait for perfection, you will wait forever. The secret is not perfection. The secret is starting small. One day, something changed for me. I heard a little child speaking in short sentences. The child said, "I am happy." The child said, "I want water." The words were so small. The grammar was not always correct, but still, everyone understood the child. And in that moment, I realized something powerful. If a child can do it, why can't I? I do not need long speeches. I only need small, simple sentences. When you say small sentences, you are already speaking English. Do not let anyone tell you that it is not enough. Think about it. If you can say, "I like apples," you can also say, "I like bananas." If you can say, "I am tired," you can also say, "I am hungry." With just a few words, you can speak many sentences. This is the magic of English. It grows like a tree. One small seed can become many branches. One small sentence can become many conversations. At first, my sentences were very simple. I said, "My name is Adam." I said, "I am a student." I said, "I live here." And every time I spoke, I felt stronger. The sentences were not big, but they gave me power because I was no longer silent. I was speaking. I was using my voice. And that feeling was more important than any grammar book. Do not be afraid to repeat the same simple sentences many times. Repetition is not weakness. Repetition is power. The more you say it, the more natural it becomes. I remember saying, "How are you?" hundreds of times. At first, it felt strange. But after some days, it felt easy. It felt natural. And soon, I could say it without even thinking. That is how English becomes part of you. Not through silence, through small sentences spoken again and again. I want you to imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning, you look in the mirror, you smile and say, I am strong. I can speak English. These are simple words, but they are powerful. You are training your brain. You are giving yourself courage. And when you step outside, these words are already in your mind, ready to be used with other people. Many learners think they need thousands of words before they can speak. That is not true. You do not need 0 words. You only need a few words. And then you use those words in many different ways. Let me show you. If you know the word want, you can say, I want tea. You can say, I want rest. You can say, I want to learn. One small word creates many sentences. That is how English works. That is why starting small is so powerful. I remember my first real conversation. It was not long. It was not perfect. A friend asked me, Do you like music? My heart jumped. I wanted to run. But then I remembered. Start small. Keep it simple. So I took a breath and said, Yes, I like music. That was all. But my friend smiled. My friend understood. And I realized something that changed my life. Speaking English is not about big words. It is about connection. It is about sharing. And you can share with even the smallest sentence. The best part is this. Small sentences give you confidence. When you succeed with one small sentence, your brain says, I can do this. That confidence helps you speak the next sentence, and the next one, and the next one. Soon, you are speaking not just one sentence, but 10. And after 10, you are speaking 20. This is how you grow, step by step, word by word, sentence by sentence. So today, I want you to choose your first small sentence. It can be, I am learning. It can be, I feel happy. It can be, I love English. Say it out loud now. Say it again. Smile when you say it, because this is your first step, and your first step is always the most important. Never believe the lie that English is too big. Never believe the lie that you must wait. Start small, start simple, and you will discover the truth that I discovered. Speaking in English is not only possible, it is easy. And it begins with one small sentence spoken today. Chapter 13. Listening first, speaking second. When I first tried to speak English, I thought speaking was everything. I thought if I just opened my mouth and pushed myself, the words would come. But what happened? Nothing came. I stood silent. I felt lost. I felt empty. And I realized something important. Speaking without listening is like trying to sing without hearing the music. You need the sound before the voice. I remember sitting in front of a group of people. They were talking in English so fast. The words sounded like waves crashing against each other. I could not catch anything. I wanted to speak, but I had nothing to copy, nothing to use. It was like trying to paint without colors. I was frustrated. I thought maybe I was just bad at English. But then I discovered the secret. If I listened first, my speaking would grow naturally. Think about how you learned your first language. As a baby, you did not speak first. You listened first. You heard your parents. You heard sounds, words, songs, and stories. For months and months, you said nothing. But your brain was working. Your brain was storing sounds, creating patterns, building meaning. And one day, the words came out. That is the natural way. That is the human way. So, when I started to listen to English more, everything began to change. I listened to small things, a short video, a song, a simple story. At first, it was just noise. I felt nothing but confusion, but I stayed with it. I listened again and again and again. something amazing happened. The words that were noise started to become clear. My ears learned to catch them. My brain started to recognize them. And soon I could say them. Speaking became easier because I already had the music of English inside me. You must remember this. Listening is not wasted time. Listening is secret speaking practice. When you listen, your brain is preparing your voice. You may think you are doing nothing, but inside your mind is learning the rhythm, the tone, the flow of English. And later, when you open your mouth, those sounds will come out more naturally. I will tell you a simple exercise that changed my life. I chose one short English phrase. I listened to it many times. How are you today? The first time, I only caught 1 or 2 words. The second time, I caught more. After the 10th time, I could hear every word. And then, something magical happened. My mouth wanted to say it. Without thinking, I repeated it. And it felt natural. It felt easy. This is how listening builds speaking. Another powerful trick is shadowing. When you listen, do not just sit quietly. Try to copy. Try to repeat right after the speaker. At first, you will feel silly. At first, your mouth will be slow. But keep trying. Slowly, your mouth learns to move faster. Slowly, your tongue learns the shapes. And one day, you find yourself speaking almost like the speaker. That is the power of listening with action. Many learners make the mistake of thinking they must speak immediately. They think silence is weakness. But silence can be strength if it is filled with listening. Do not be afraid to be silent while your ears learn. Do not be afraid to listen 100 times before you speak once. That one sentence will be stronger because of all the listening behind it. I want you to imagine sitting with a friend. Your friend asks you a question in English. Before, you would panic. But now, because you listened so much, you recognize the question. Your brain says, I know this. I have heard this before. And you answer. The answer may be short, but it comes with less fear. That is the gift of listening. It prepares you for the real world. The more I listened, the more confident I became. I stopped thinking English was impossible. I started to believe English was inside me. I felt it in my ears. I felt it in my mouth. I felt it in my heart. And the fear of speaking became smaller and smaller. So today I want you to make a promise to yourself. Listen every single day. It can be 5 minutes. It can be 10. It does not have to be long, but it must be daily. Listen to voices. Listen to stories. Listen to songs. Do not worry if you understand everything. Just let the sounds enter you. Let your brain do the work. And soon, your speaking will follow. Remember this. Speaking is like the fruit of a tree, but listening is the water and the sunlight. Without water, the fruit cannot grow. Without listening, your speaking cannot live. So water your tree with listening. Give it light. And then, one day, you will taste the sweet fruit of fluent speaking. Speaking in English is easy, but only when you let listening lead the way. So listen first. Fill your heart with the sound of English. And then, when you speak, it will not feel forced. It will feel natural. It will feel free. Chapter 4. Practice without pressure. I remember the day I first spoke English alone in my room. There was no teacher. There was no class. There was no test. It was only me, a mirror, and my voice. At first, I felt strange. I thought, why am I talking to myself? This feels silly. But then something amazing happened. The pressure was gone. I was free. I could say anything. I could make mistakes. I could laugh at myself, and nobody judged me. That was the first time I felt real confidence in English. Pressure is the biggest enemy of speaking. When you feel pressure, your brain closes. You forget words. You freeze. You feel like a bird in a cage. But when there is no pressure, you feel free. You can fly. You can try. You can practice without fear. That is why practicing alone is so powerful. You control the moment. You control the speed. You control the words. And slowly, English becomes your friend. I used to think I must always speak with other people to get better. But that made me nervous. I was always afraid of mistakes. I was always afraid people would laugh. Then I discovered something simple. I can practice alone first. I can talk to my mirror. I can describe my day. I can tell a story to myself. And every time I do, I become stronger. Then, when I meet people, I am ready. I already practiced. I already built courage. Imagine standing in front of your mirror tomorrow. You look into your own eyes, you smile, and you say, "Good morning. How are you today?" You laugh a little, but you feel good. Then you say, "I feel happy. I am learning English." These are simple words, but they give you energy. They give you power. You hear your own voice, and your brain starts to believe, "Yes, I can speak." Practice without pressure is also about talking to objects around you. Look at your chair and say, "This is my chair." Look at your cup and say, "This is my cup. It has tea." Look at the window and say, "The sky is blue." These sentences are not big, but they are real. They are practice. They make English part of your daily life. The more you do this, the easier it feels. And soon, speaking is as natural as breathing. The most important part of practice is this: do not punish yourself. Do not be angry when you forget. Do not be sad when you make mistakes. Smile at your mistakes. Learn from them. Mistakes are teachers. Every mistake gives you a new lesson. Every mistake brings you closer to fluency. Remember this: mistakes are not failure. Silence is failure. Mistakes are success. I also learned the secret of repetition. I repeated small sentences many times. I am ready. I am learning. I can speak. I said them again and again. At first, it felt boring, but then I realized something. Repetition makes your brain strong. Repetition makes your sentences automatic. One day, I met a person, and without thinking, I said, "How are you?" It came out naturally, like magic. That was the power of practice without pressure. When you practice daily in a free and safe space, something beautiful happens. You stop being afraid of speaking. You stop being shy. You start to enjoy English. You start to smile when you speak. And people feel that energy. They feel your joy. They feel your confidence. Even if your words are simple, your confidence makes them powerful. I want you to imagine this future. You sit in a classroom or in a meeting. Someone asks you a question in English. Before, you would panic. Before, you would stay silent. But now, you have practiced alone many times. You know what to say. Your brain remembers. Your mouth is ready. And you answer. You speak with calmness. You speak with strength. And you surprise yourself. You think, was that really me? Yes, it was you. And it was possible because of your practice without pressure. So today, I ask you to start. Find 5 minutes. Go to your room. Stand in front of the mirror. Or sit at your desk. And speak. Say something simple. Say it again and again. Describe your day. Talk to yourself like a friend. Smile while you do it. Make it fun. Make it light. Do not make it a test. Make it a game. And soon, you will see the result. Remember, practice is not about perfection. Practice is about progress. Practice is not about showing others. Practice is about building yourself. The more you practice without pressure, the more ready you become for the real world. And when the real world comes, you will shine. Speaking in English is easy when you remove the weight from your shoulders. Do not carry fear. Do not carry pressure. Practice freely. Practice with joy. And your voice will grow stronger every single day. Chapter 5. From Simple Words to Real Conversations. I still remember my first real conversation in English. It was not a long talk. It was not perfect, but it was real, and it was powerful. A friend looked at me and asked, "Do you like music?" My heart started to race. For a moment, I wanted to run. I wanted to hide. But then I remembered the small sentences I had practiced. I took a deep breath and said, "Yes, I like music." That was all. Just 5 words. But those 5 words gave me more confidence than 1 year of silence. This is the magic of simple words. Simple words grow into real conversations. Many learners believe they need big grammar and big vocabulary before they can talk. They think conversations are made of long speeches, but that is not true. Conversations are built from small pieces. One question, one answer, one simple sentence. Put them together, and you have a conversation. Think about this. If you can say, "I like apples," you can also say, "I like books." If you can ask, "Do you like tea?" You can also ask, "Do you like movies?" These are not big sentences, but they are real. They are the building blocks of connection, and connection is the heart of conversation. When I started to practice, my words were few. My sentences were short, but people understood me. And when they understood me, I felt strong. That strength gave me courage to say more. Step by step, my short answers became longer. Yes, I like music. Later, it became, yes, I like music because it makes me happy. And then, it became, yes, I like music. My favorite is soft music because it relaxes me after a long day. Do you see how one small seed grows into a tree? That is how your English grows too. The most beautiful part is that people do not need perfect English from you. They need your message. They need your feeling. When you speak with honesty, even simple words touch the heart. I once told a teacher, "I want to learn more." My grammar was not correct, but the teacher smiled. The teacher said, "Good. You want to learn." My meaning was clear. My heart was clear. That is what matters most. Many learners freeze because they think too much. They think about grammar rules. They think about mistakes. But a real conversation is not an exam. A real conversation is life. Life is simple. People ask simple things. How are you? Where do you live? What do you like? You do not need to be perfect to answer. You only need courage to try. I want you to imagine sitting with a new friend. The friend says, "Hello." You say, "Hello." The friend asks, "What is your name?" You say, "My name is Ali." The friend asks, "Where are you from?" You say, "I am from Pakistan." Just like that, you are in a conversation. You are sharing. You are connecting. And all of it is built with small, simple sentences. The key is to start. Do not wait for big vocabulary. Do not wait for perfect grammar. Start with what you know, and then use it. Every conversation will teach you something new. Every conversation will give you a new word, a new phrase, a new experience, and slowly, without even noticing, your English will grow stronger. I also learned an important truth. Confidence is not built in your head. Confidence is built in real life. You cannot only study, you must speak. You must use your words in real situations. Even if it is only with one person. Even if it is only for 1 minute. That 1 minute is more valuable than 100 silent hours. Because that 1 minute shows you that you can do it. I want you to take this step today. After this video, find one person to talk to. It can be a friend. It can be a classmate. It can be someone online. Do not plan a big talk. Just ask one question. Just answer one question. That is enough. Feel the power of connection. Feel the power of real conversation. That moment will stay with you. That moment will give you courage to speak again tomorrow. Speaking in English is not a mountain. It is a road. And every step you take brings you closer, from one word to one sentence, from one sentence to one conversation, from one conversation to many. This is the journey, and every learner can walk it, including you. So do not wait. Do not hide. Your simple words are already enough. Use them. Share them. Speak them. And you will discover the truth I discovered. Speaking in English is so easy when you begin with small steps that grow into real conversations.